There was a time when the mall wasn't just a place to shop, it was the place to be. The smell of new leather shoes, the echo of kids running past neon signs, the sound of pop music floating from the food court, all wrapped up in that strange mix of freedom and fluorescent light. For millions of Americans, the mall was where memories were made: birthdays, first jobs, first dates, and those long afternoons spent window shopping with no money at all. Today, we're looking back at 10 stores every mall lover from the 80s misses, the ones that filled our weekends, emptied our wallets, and defined a generation of American youth. Number 1, Radio Shack, the gadget playground. Before Best Buy or Amazon, there was Radio Shack. It was the go-to stop for batteries, walkie-talkies, and the kind of gadgets that made you feel like an inventor. You could buy a radio kit, solder it together, and listen to your own creation that same night. For curious kids and tech tinkerers, Radio Shack was heaven, a mix of science lab and treasure chest. It faded away in the 2010s, swallowed by online retail and a world that no longer needed spare transistors. Number 2, KB Toys, the kingdom of chaos and joy. Tucked between the food court and the arcade, KB Toys was the loudest corner of any mall. Walls stacked to the ceiling with action figures, dolls, and wind-up robots, all slightly disorganized but full of magic. Kids would beg their parents to just look, knowing they'd walk out with something small, like a Hot Wheels car or a yo-yo. During the 80s and 90s, KB was the beating heart of childhood wonder. But by 2009, after years of competition from big box stores and online retailers, those joyful aisles finally went quiet. Number 3, the Sharper Image, the store of the future. Walking into the Sharper Image felt like stepping into tomorrow. There were massage chairs, air purifiers, and gadgets that looked like they belonged on a spaceship. People didn't always buy much there, they tried things. You'd sit in a vibrating recliner while your friend tested a flying alarm clock. It was a store made for curiosity, for showing what technology could be. But as the digital age grew, Sharper Image's sense of wonder faded, and by 2008, the company went dark. Number 4, B. Dalton Bookseller, the quiet corner of the mall. Long before ebooks or Amazon, B. Dalton was where you'd wander when you needed a moment of peace. The smell of paper and ink, the soft hum of quiet voices, it was the thinking person's retreat from all the noise. You could find the latest Stephen King novel or a glossy magazine about cars or cooking. Many of us spent rainy afternoons there, flipping through pages we couldn't afford to buy. But as big bookstores and online shopping took over, B. Dalton quietly closed its last doors in the early 2100. Number 5, Sam Goody, the soundtrack of our youth. Before streaming, music was something you held, and Sam Goody was where you got it. Rows of cassette tapes and shiny CDs lined the walls, with album covers like tiny pieces of art. Teenagers could spend hours flipping through records, listening to samples, or arguing over which band was better. It wasn't just about buying music, it was about belonging to a moment. As digital downloads took over in the 2000s, Sam Goody, like the sound of a record fading out, disappeared. Number 6, Walden Books, where imagination lived. If B. Dalton was quiet sophistication, Walden Books was cozy and familiar. It was in almost every mall, often near the food court or escalator, a small but warm corner of stories. It was where kids discovered Goosebumps and adults picked up the latest thriller on their lunch break. The wooden shelves and friendly clerks made it feel like home. But by 2011, as reading shifted online, Walden Books became another story that ended too soon. Number 7, Woolworths, the original five and dime. Before the mall became the center of shopping, Woolworths helped invent it. You could grab a milkshake at the lunch counter, buy a toy, and pick up socks all in one stop. It was affordable, friendly, and full of small-town charm even inside a big city mall. For many baby boomers, Woolworths was where everyday life happened. But by the late 1990s, it couldn't keep up with the rise of Walmart and Target, and the last stores closed in 1997. Number 8, The Limited, where fashion found its voice. For young women of the 80s and 90s, The Limited was a rite of passage. It offered trendy but classy styles, the kind of clothes you wore to your first job interview or school dance. The window displays were elegant, the lighting soft, and the sales clerks always ready with a compliment. It wasn't just a store, it was confidence in clothing form. As fast fashion took over, the Limited slowly faded, closing its doors in 2017. Number 9. Orange Julius. The taste of summer in a cup. You could smell Orange Julius before you saw it, that sweet, citrusy scent drifting through the mall. Their frothy orange drinks were the perfect mix of milk, sugar, and sunshine. It was the unofficial refreshment of American malls. Every sip felt like vacation. People would grab one before heading back into the crowds, cup in hand, smile on face. While a few still exist inside Dairy Queens, the standalone mall counters are a memory. Number 10. Suncoast Motion Picture Company. The movie lover's paradise. For movie buffs, Suncoast was the holy grail. Rows of VHS tapes and DVDs, glossy movie posters, and collectible figures lined every shelf. It was where you'd discover behind-the-scenes documentaries and director's cuts you couldn't find anywhere else. You'd walk out with a bag full of dreams and maybe a new favorite film. By the late 2000s, streaming made it obsolete. But to this day, nothing beats the thrill of holding your favorite movie in your hands.